Okay, here's the AFK Challenge 2v2 replay, ladies and gentlemen. Subscriber casting and analysis has officially begun. Are you ready? Ladies and gentlemen, a 2v2 cast. In the upper left-hand corner in the red shorts representing clan HKG, it is Chicken Man, fighter of evil, joined by, of clan Neuro W, the Goblin King himself. It is Laspo, the locksmith. In the bottom right-hand corner in the blue shorts, playing the cheering, representing no clan, their name is Neo Yikes. And the ally, also in the blue trunks, playing the bugs, it is Damocles. Our story begins with the, what the Is the other team trying to pretend they're AFK too? What is this? Okay, so the challenge I know of the red team was to pretend you're AFK. And this is a tricky challenge, right? Because how do you really sell that you're AFK? The main thing would be to have a base that looks identical to what you start with in a match. Look at this base. How many gases are there? There are no gases. How many drones are there? Oh, there are 12 drones. How many drones do you start with again? You start with 12. Why is there an overlord here? Because this is where it starts out. It's just here, right next to the base. But you need to make overlords so you don't get supply blocked, but you want to hide them. So both Apoptosis and Chicken Man have hidden their overlords in the foliage, in these treetops and canopies. These are overlords that aren't trying to scout, they're trying to hide. This is hide and seek overlord placement. But they're still trying to win, right? It's not just about pretending that you're AFK. It's about pretending that you're AFK, but also continuing to play the video game. And that's where these bases are going to be really crucial. And also, the important moves such as taking a spawning pool. But you can't do that here, right? Because then, cat's out of the bag, you know that these players are not AFK because they built a spawning pool. These two overlords here don't suspect a thing. This team, they see what? They see a little bit of creep here and no base. So for all the blue team knows, this could be a double one base cheese. Some double Zerg teams do that in 2v2. So that's why you make a siege tank and you just walk it forward in the map. Actually, that doesn't make sense at all. I don't know why this siege tank is going this way. This is incredibly risky. But maybe they do think that the red team is AFK. Let's check the vision again. Yeah, they haven't really scouted too much. But they're about to scout. This is a 1 Marine, 1 Siege Tank scouting maneuver. It's going to have a lot more damage to it than a Reaper scout because the Siege Tank hits pretty hard. And now we've got a 2nd Marine here to back it up. I think this is what people talk about when they say, Neuro, what do I do against the 3-minute 50 Marine tank timing? And I'm like, what? There's no timing at that time. Actually, I was wrong. There is, and it's this. So these Marines and tanks are going to be just gradually moving up, trying to assess the situation here. What is going on? There's a big roach push coming as well, another siege tank. So we're just going for a blind double one base sort of all-in play. There are no workers here, and this main base is hardly saturated as well. So Chicken Man and Apop are actually ahead at the moment. Look at this economy, 27 drones apiece. The roaches and the Marines are coming up here, getting up to the high ground. And they're gonna start chipping away at this base. There are no defenses so far, so this is that kind of attack where you're attacking in and you're like, Are these players bad or AFK? Did they both go AFK? Sometimes it happens that one person in a 2v2 is AFK. Wow, the banter already. Just gonna add some insult to injury. Shooting these bases down and feeling pretty strong about things overall. Oh yes. Wow, just pat yourself on the back. You got your micro with one hand and you're patting yourself on the back with the other hand. Is this an ideal way to play StarCraft? Out micro'd, get wrecked. Man, they're very excited about this push. Okay, they're pinging this base location. And then the tanks and the Marines are gonna try to siege Apoptosis' gold base. But if we look at the units tab here, they're not in too bad of a spot. Apoptosis has 19 workers still. There are some queens running around, getting some things done, just trying to defend these lings. And this is 4 bases active against 3. So if Team Red can hang on here, they may stand a decent chance of pushing back. Queens in the front, transfusing each other. Roach Ravager in the back, bringing that DPS. The DPS. Queens are killing the lings. Roach Ravager fighting the roaches, and these roaches have no upgrades. There's no lair, no evos, so this is a roachling all-in only. Siege tank count is getting pretty high. This base is taken out, so Team Red is knocked down to 2 bases. But still, 15 workers? The sword of Damocles is hanging over my head. Go Stefano, thank you for the host. We're in the middle of a subscriber cast, and this game was an AFK challenge, where Team Red, trying to pretend they were AFK at the start, didn't make a single worker except for one to expand. And this blue team has been doing, as what we say, talking mad shit as they push into these bases, feeling very smart and full of themselves, only to realize that there are a bunch of bases they didn't account for that were taken very early on. That being said, the situation is looking fairly dire. 2 bases were lost, but this base, it's not being mined from. Is Team Red going to be able to hang on here? With their epic meme of pretending to be AFK, the lings are on the siege tank. Roach Ravager getting some shots off and falling back. There's a macro hatch here to help spend these minerals. Marines are attacking the spawning pool. The Queen Roach Ravager fighting the Marines, landing those biles. No micro on these Marines. More units are being paraded over to this location. Another tank goes into siege mode, but the triple corrosive bile kills the siege tank. Roach Ravager taking out the Marines one at a time. The lings are running back. 2 siege tanks. Not in siege mode, going into siege mode, but the biles! 2 biles hit, needing 3 to kill the tanks. Let's look at the active forces tab. Team Red pulling ahead in the supply. The creep spread, it's all over the place. 2 more Ravagers. Morphing in. Queens coming out, macro hatch is done. Up in that larva income, that larva production. Corrosive biles take out the siege tank. Suddenly Team Blue is talking shit less and realizing how silly they might look. I was just talking shit 5 minutes ago, only to realize that maybe we're going to lose. And that's when you know the spaghetti is getting upsetty. This Roach Ravager count is building, while the tank count is dwindling. The Queens are feeling confident, gonna march with the army here. If you got them, use them. These 2 overlords are in jeopardy, being shot in the butt. Another triple bile knocks out a siege tank. They're pushing them back past the gold base where the expansion once was. Ravager count going up by 2. And at the front, how many tanks do we have? None. There's blue flame going on, but there are no Hellions, so what's it for? Fire. Maybe they're gonna have a barbecue later or something, I don't know. Why would you get blue flame with no Hellions? Trying to push in the Lings and Marines, hanging on by a thread. Oh no. Team Red is on top of Team Blue's production. This is the throat of the Terran. If this location is lost, no more units may enter the field with any hope to survive. Even the barracks are getting viled now. Lings are in the main base of the Terran. Oh my goodness, and Chicken Man returning the comment that was made by Team Blue during their initial push. And even more banter and salt. Oh my goodness. The Spaghetti is upset. Team Blue surrenders. That's the game. The AFK challenge was completed. Egos were inflated and deflated, all within the span of 10 minutes. Very well done. Thank you for submitting that epic game.